Hi, I'm Lauren Schneider, and I'm replying to the criminal justice discussion. Tara and everyone else that replied discussed the video about to prison for poverty, and I agree that these probation companies are extreme. And I also, not only are the fees extreme, but I think that it's a big issue that they're not doing anything to help these people. But I'm not going to talk too much about that because I feel like a lot of people did talk about those. Um, and then another issue with people not being able to find jobs after they get out of prison, and then this then leads to poverty, which Tara had said. Um, I I feel that individuals who are released from prison have trouble finding jobs, but they also have trouble finding somewhere to live. Is another issue besides being able to find a job because of having a criminal record. Some landlords won't rent to someone with a criminal record. They usually don't have money to buy their own home because repeatedly inmates will fall into debt while in prison. And then another issue Tara and some other people talked about is the issue of reoffending when you get out of jail. I believe that after a person is released from prison and they realize um, that there isn't much hope for them, then they go back to their old ways. Sometimes I feel people come out of prison changed and have every intention to do better, but in our society, we don't leave them with much hope for a better life, and it is easier for them to give up and go back to their old ways that they know. And many times these old habits are like what the other people were talking about, is like drug dealing or something like that, and or even other things. It's not just drug dealing. There's other things that could have let that other risky behaviors that could have lead them back into prison. And many times these are the only skills that these people know. So these habits are what lead them back into prison, and um, they're what had led them. When Tiffany was talking about the video to prison for poverty, she brought up a good point about, or not she was just wondering about keeping prisons full, so private prisons can stay in business. And I believe that governments do find ways to keep prisons full so private prisons can stay in business. And one of those ways is by putting people who can't afford to pay these fees on monthly payments through probation programs. And another thought that comes to mind about this topic is the difference between someone who has a criminal record versus someone who doesn't. People who have anything on their record are almost never let go when dealing with police officers for I'm talking about misdemeanors, not anything big like killing somebody or something like that. But someone who doesn't have a record will be let go with just a warning. It's like they want to keep the same individuals in trouble, and saying they don't deserve the same chance as if compared to somebody who doesn't have any sort of record. Um, and it's and like they also seem like they don't want to help these people that do keep getting the same charges. And it's like the same as if you have a driving violation or anything like on your driving record. Um, Before I ever had a speeding ticket, I was let go with a warning multiple times until the first speeding ticket I received. Once I got that speeding ticket, I was given a ticket every time I was pulled over after that, no matter how fast I was going. It didn't matter if I was going 25 miles over the speed limit or 5 miles over the speed limit. I was always given a ticket, and I was never given a warning after that first speeding ticket. It just seems like they want to get the same people in trouble over and over again. Um, and then Tessa had talked about people working while in prison, and then she also talked about prisons offering training and education. And I didn't know that they were offering GEDs. offering people to have a chance at getting their GED while in prison. So that was something interesting to learn about. And then Tessa and Tiffany also talked about when a parent goes to prison, the effects on the child. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize is how it affects the child. Because I mean, the child isn't in prison, but it has a very large effect on the child. So it was interesting to hear their stories. And then and I also agree with Tessa about we do need to educate more people about these issues, because I as well didn't know anything about private prisons. And then Tara was hoping to hear some positives, and I do have some positives for her. I learned about this program from this document on alternatives to incarceration. It's called LEAD. It's a LEAD stands for Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion, and this program is cheaper than incarceration. It costs approximately $240 per person for 3 days to be in the LEAD program, where it costs an individual $3,104 per person for 30 days in Seattle, Washington, to be incarcerated. This program does help long-term addiction, and I like this program because people are receiving individual case services. So there's some positive things that are actually helping people rather than just trying to take money or just trying to incarcerate people. So I hope that does give you some hope.